Hello, Rama Pupoda. Hope all are in good health, feeling great, wonderful, having a happy and peaceful life. Now let's continue with devotee Professor G.V. Subbaramaya. Sorry, previously I mentioned Subramanya. Sorry about it. They were simple and direct. Like Jesus Christ, he spoke with authority. His words were the result of first hand knowledge and experience rather than bookish knowledge and hearsay. He went to the root of every question and simplified it. He did not use confusing terminology. When he spoke, he would cite only concrete illustrations along with his answers, making his meaning crystal clear. When G.V. Subbaramaya spoke about the clarity of Bhagavan's utterances, he would always be in raptures. Bhagavan once told him, when a person enquires, for whom is this self realization? The individuality goes, and the delusion that the self is yet to be realized disappears. This alone is the grace of the Guru. The Guru can only dispel the delusion that the self has not been realized. Granting self realization is impossible not only for the Guru but for God Himself. Praying to the Guru to let you have self realization is like asking, give myself to me. We identify the body with ourselves because we have the delusion, I am an individual. This creates another delusion that the Guru is also an individual and is therefore other than myself. The Guru is actually not someone different from you. During the last days of Bhagavan, Subbaramaya wrote a few verses and submitted them to Bhagavan. One of these verses is of utmost importance to us seekers, since he has made a commitment to Bhagavan on our behalf as well. The prayer is, we take an oath to keep your teachings constantly in mind, to watch your movement attentively and learn the lessons thereof, to dispel the delusion of the ego and abide firmly in the self like you ever are. This is the service which all of us devotees would render to you, my beloved Sadguru, O Ramana. We do have a duty towards our Master. It is not enough to proclaim that Ramana is the greatest Guru. We have to stay committed enough to constantly retain the teachings in the mind. During the last moments of Bhagavan, Subbaramaya cried inconsolably. Bhagavan's last words to him were, do not worry, be at peace, everything will be well. To be is our nature, coming and going is the trick of the mind. Our commitment is to be pivoted to the silence and the peace within us. Two other important experiences in the presence of Bhagavan were shared by G.V. Subbaramaya. B. Anandachari took great pains in printing the Ramana Gita. His help was appreciated in the preface of the book. He pleaded earnestly with Bhagavan to have his name removed. Bhagavan responded with, why do you worry? To ask for the omission of your name is as egoistic as to desire its inclusion. So let it be. After all, who knows who Anandachari is? Most of us understand humility to be withdrawal from recognition. We seldom understand that accepting things as they are is the pinnacle of humility. Pannalal, ICS Commissioner of the Allahabad Division, once visited the ashram with his family. He complained to Bhagavan that though he had riches, enormous power, and material comforts, he did not have peace of mind. Bhagavan asked him, "Why do you want peace? Why can't you be as you are?" Pannalal replied, "Because I am not happy otherwise." Bhagavan answered, "Then it is like this. A man who has a headache will not rest until he has taken the right medicine and has got rid of his ailment, because health is our true state and not illness. Similarly, peace is our true nature. Indeed, we are at peace, but we forget that and seek peace from external sources. This is an impossible quest and creates all these problems. The moment you withdraw your mind from external objects and turn it inwards, it then takes to real peace and feels happy." Once, in the early hours of the morning, when Subbaramaya visited Bhagavan, Bhagavan talked about how we have a glimpse of our real self every day. Between the state of sleep and waking, there is a moment of twilight. The waking consciousness begins with the thought of I. Just before the upsurge of this thought, there is a fraction of a second of undifferentiated pure consciousness. So, first there is unconsciousness, followed by pure consciousness, and then creeps in the thought of I. It is during this state that we become conscious of the whole world around us. We can sense pure consciousness only if we are alert and watchful for the state. The beauty of Bhagavan's teachings is that it is simple, direct, and natural. We are fortunate to be able to read about these sacred relationships between the Supreme Master and his old devotees. In the process, our own consciousness becomes purified. It becomes equipped to focus on the truth. We automatically turn to our brain, our memories, our desires, because we feel that security is there. One must have total faith. Arunachala means Aruna, Achala. Aruna is being aliveness, and Achala means unmoved. When the mind remains unmoved, then it has no other choice but to dissolve itself in the self, in self awareness. In other words, that which is called unmoved. That is what Bhagavan meant when he said, "Everyone finally has to come to Arunachala. If you want the truth, you have to keep the moving mind immobile." I was close to Subbaramaya, and I once visited his hometown. He then showed me the horizon and said, "Ganesa, Arunachala is there. Can you not see Arunachala?" Naturally, I could see Arunachala, and I can tell you that it is not a miracle. When the mind says, "I do not see Arunachala," you are paying attention to its immediate projection of non-seeing. Reject the mind's false projection. One's faith is in oneself is truth. He showed me Arunachala from a distance of 400 miles, and I could see it. K.K. Nambiar, whom I was acquainted with in Bombay right from 1960, was also soaked in truth. He was the managing director of a very big company and lived in a palatial house facing the ocean. He asked me to come to his house for dinner. I used to feel a little shy to enter his house. He set me at ease and took me to his upstairs patio and showed me the ocean. He then said, embracing me, "See, Ganesan, look, Arunachala is here." Again, on that day, I saw Arunachala on the surface of the ocean. Only later on did I stay in Arunachala and experience its depth. Everyone has to come to Arunachala, are the holy words of Bhagavan. One must have faith not only in these words but in ourselves. We have to turn within to ourselves as we are the truth. There is truth everywhere. Do not turn to the brain or the mind, because it will only project the untruth and lead you to believe that such things are untrue and false. This is what two great devotees, K.K. Nambiar and Professor G.V. Subbaramaya, imparted to me. They did this by showing me Arunachala. They showed me the Arunachala outside so that I would turn within and experience Arunachala within me. Every moment, each of these old devotees of Bhagavan has come from Arunachala because Bhagavan is Arunachala and that they are its rocks and boulders. They have gone back to Arunachala. N.R. Krishnamurti Iyer, also a great devotee, once said to me, Ganesa, you are also one of the rocks. I am also one of the rocks. You are going back. Let us go back consciously, not unconsciously. I am only a speck of dust, not even a rock. Maybe you are a rock, a big rock. K.K. Nambiar was a rock. Kunjuswami once pointed to a rock up on the hill and said, This is our Muruganar. When going around the hill, I enjoy looking at these rocks because the relationship between the guru and the disciple is vital for plunging within. Subbaramaya once said this to me. There are many guidelines for going outside. There are doors and road maps to guide us. But for going within, there is no map and there is no guide. Just as the Upanishads say, the bird has no path. Where the bird flies is the path. The fish has no path in water. Wherever it swims is the path. Similarly, you have to dive within and find your path. None of the scriptures can help you. None of the theoretical knowledge that you have will help you. You can achieve it by having complete faith in yourself. How beautifully the bird flies. Does it worry about the path? Does the fish hesitate? Then why do we hesitate? Plunge within. My master Ramana always said, dive within, plunge within, and go inwards. Dive within with full faith and in Bhagavan, and you are sure to find the inner Guru waiting for you with open arms. G.V. Subbaramaya had two daughters, Lalita and Indira. They used to come to see Bhagavan regularly, even though it is very difficult for them to travel the distance. On one visit, the elder girl Lalita, turning over the pages of the then new Telugu edition of Upadesa Saram, picked up the first two letters of bold type in the 4 lines of a Sanskrit verse by Sri Bhagavan and read them together aloud as Deham, Naham, Koham, Soham. These words together meant, I am not the body. Who am I? I am he. On hearing this, Bhagavan said, Very good, that will do. The rest of the stanza you need not read. What you have read is the quintessence of wisdom. Make it your mantra. Thereafter, every time Bhagavan saw Indra on this visit, he would ask her to repeat this mantra. Soon, she knew it by heart. On the final day of their visit, the two of them were taking leave of Bhagavan just as he was ready to go for his usual walk up the hill. They approached him and said, Bhagavan, we have to go home. Saying this, they cried, patting Indra most lovingly. Bhagavan said, You go to your place while I go to my place, pointing to the hill. Significantly, it proved to be their last leave taking. After reaching home, both children wrote to Subbaramaya. Lalita wanted him to convey her salutations to Sri Bhagavan and inform him of her promotion to the next class. Indira wrote that she was constantly repeating the mantra and meditating on Sri Bhagavan. On pursuing these letters, Bhagavan looked most graciously pleased. Sometime later, little Indra passed away. Subramanya had a samadhi built for her on which was inscribed the mantra Deham, Naham, Koham, Soham. பாடல் 11. ஐம்புல கள்வ ரகத்தினிற் புகும்போ தகத்தினீ இலையோ வர்ணாச்சலா. பொருள் ஐம்புலன்கள் என்னும் கள்வர் என் வீட்டில் உள்ளத்தில் புகுந்தபோது நீ வீட்டில் இல்லையோ அருணாச்சலா. Meaning, when the thieves called, the 5 senses entered my heart. Were you not at home, Arunachala? பாடல் 12. ஒருவனா முன்னா யொலித்தவர் வருவா ருன்சு தேயுது வர்ணாச்சலா. பொருள் ஒருவனான பரமாத்மாவான உன்னிடமிருந்து ஒளிந்து கொண்டு யார் வர முடியும்? இது உன் சூதுதான் அருணாச்சலா. Meaning, How can anyone come here hiding from you? Who is the one all-pervading self? This is only your scheme. அருணாச்சலா. பாடல் 13. ஓங்காரப் பொருள் லொலுப்புயர் வில்லோ யுனையா ரரிவா அருணாச்சலா. பொருள் ஓம் என்ற சொல்லின் பொருளாக ஒப்பற்று விளங்குபவரே, உன்னை யார்தான் உண்மையில் அறிய முடியும்? அருணாச்சலா. மீனிங்: ஓ, one who prevails without comparison. As the meaning of the word Om, who can truly understand you? Arunachala. That's all, folks. Let's see in the next chapter. Thank you. Bye bye. Rama Rama Pupodu.